This fight is dangerous for Irael Adesanya. Alright, welcome back to another video over here on SCS Combat. And it's the change up because all week we've been grinding out the edits. Go and check them out if you haven't already. But today we're here for another prediction as we try to get 3 in a row right. From Kikachi to Kevin Vallejos, Movsar Evloev as well. Picked him. We aim to get all 3 of those. I suppose we're on our 4th now. As Irael Adesanya, the legend himself, takes on Joe Pyfer. Alright, so starting off, I mean, as we know, the legendary status of Irael Adesanya cannot be understated. The amount of title fights, the amount of title wins, the knockout over Pereira, the celebration, knocking out Paulo Costa, knocking out Robert Whittaker, beating Anderson Silva, beating Kevin Gastelum, fighting so often, going up, challenging Jan for the light heavyweight title, going for 2 belts. Irael Adesanya is a legend. Joe Pyfer, on the other hand, pretty good prospect. 15-3. He's had a couple of good wins. He's lost some. So he's lost to Jack Hermanson in the UFC, and that is it. Really good win last time out against Abus Magomedov. Then obviously he beats Gastelum as well. Pyfer knocking out Barriol, that was a great knockout. And before that, he gets beat over a 5-round decision by Hermanson. I think the biggest factor with Joe Pyfer here is his finishing threat. I mean, he's got 15 wins and 13 of those is finishes. 7 of those in the first round as well. Heavy hitter, and as you seen last time out, skilled submission artist, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Overall, just a really skilled fighter. Now, his opponent, the man that stands across from him, Irael Adesanya, I mean, just what a fighter he has been in his career. Just looking back, I made an edit, so I kind of had a refresh and I watched the Imavov fight. It was sad to see him go out like that in the Imavov fight, and you know, I really don't know how much the eye poke affected him in that, because obviously he done that thing where Pereira was like, oh yeah, I can see, fine, let me go, and then he got hit pretty much straight away. He got hit on that side, and I did think that he was doing good in the first round. He got caught with a good shot, but counter wise he looked good. I've been watching fighters' last fights. I feel like taking Irael Adesanya's career into consideration. Irael Adesanya is older though, and he will be out of this sport soon. Hopefully it is not this weekend. He has got the reach advantage by 5 inches. He has got the height advantage by 2 inches at 6'4". He's got the leg reach as well. It's really interesting because this fight, in my opinion, goes 2 ways. Straight up, I think Izzy goes out there, controls range very well. He's able to get out of the way of the explosive work of Joe Pyfer, and he's able to defend takedowns. Then over the rounds, do quite a bit of damage to him. Eventually tag him in about round 4 and get him out of there. Or Joe Pyfer is going to go out there and he's going to finish Irael Adesanya early. Those are my 2 ways about it. I'll tell you what one I'm going to pick in a second, but you see throughout Irael Adesanya's whole career, he has carried power, and when you look at the Robert Whittaker win or the Calvin Gastelum fight, he done a lot of damage. You look at the Alex Pereira knockout. The Alex Pereira knockout was crazy. But you also look at over his career, and as he said it himself, or his coach said it, they kind of just developed this game plan. They couldn't be beat until Alex Pereira come along, obviously, and stopped them, and even that was in the 5th round. And in that fight, Izzy stunned him bad at the end of that first round. But whenever you go through this run, and by the way, like when you talk about a resume, even if he hasn't won all of them, you just talk about who Izzy has fought here. Going back, you're looking at Imavov, Duplessis, former champion, Sean Strickland, former champion, Alex Pereira twice, who is now a 2-weight world champion, going for a 3-weight world champion. Not to mention, he knocked him out once. Dark Cannonier, and one of the top fighters for a very long time. Also pretty sure he's been up at heavyweight and dropped down as well throughout his career. Then you have Robert Whittaker, former world champion. Marvin Vettori was top fighter at that point, beat Marvin Vettori before that as well. Goes up to challenge Jan at light heavyweight, loses that one, but once again, former world champion. Paulo Costa, top contender throughout his whole career. Yoel Romero, absolute terminator. We all know that fight didn't go planned though. The names on this guy's resume, it's actually insane. It is insane. Robert Whittaker again, Kevin Gastelum, Anderson Silva, the former, or depending on their opinion, the GOAT of that division or the sport in general. Then we have the fighter like Derek Brunson and Vettori again and stuff like that. Throughout his whole career, he has fought everyone, and he's been able to get it done via decision, via knockout. You know what? I was leaning kind of in the direction, you know, the explosivity of Joe Pyfer is really concerning. I'll be honest, it is so concerning, because that Imavov fight, Izzy was doing so good, and then it was just 2 seconds, bang, it was over. Pyfer carries that power. He's good wrestling and good jiu-jitsu, but in that sense, I think Irael Adesanya was defending takedowns very good against Imavov. So he was. Obviously, the reason he lost the Duplessis fight though was a submission, and he can be got down. That's the thing. He can be tucked down, and I don't know, 77% takedown defense. That's really high. What are we saying? You know what? I was gonna pick Joe Pyfer. I'll be honest. It's a really tough pick, and maybe the odds of Joe Pyfer catching Izzy with that explosive movement, or maybe knocking him down into a submission, are pretty high. But you know what? What age is he? We'll get it. What age is he? He's 36, and you know what? At 36 and a at the end of his career, Irael Adesanya is going to go out there and he's going to defeat Joe Pyfer via decision. Let me have hope is all I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick him to go out there, defend the takedowns of Pyfer, use his movement, anything that he has left to avoid Pyfer, use his kicks in particular to keep the distance, to keep the range. He has the reach, he has the height, uses counters, probably fight defensive, and I'm going to go with the first outcome I give you at the start of the video for Izzy to take him out in the 4th round. Now, may that be just walking on hope, maybe, because Irael Adesanya was the superstar around the time where I really started watching this sport a lot. Obviously, I watched it on and off for a while, and then when I come into it heavy, Irael Adesanya was the star, and the striker, the style, everything about him, that was the fighter you wanted to see win and keep winning. And even if it's the end of his career, if Izzy goes out, then I'm going to go out of this prediction streak of winning with him if he doesn't win. I don't care. Irael Adesanya is going to get it done. It mightn't be the most entertaining fight, but I think he's going to be able to survive long enough to start picking Joe Pyfer apart. And he lost the 5-round decision to Jack Hermanson, who is, even in my opinion, at his best, worse than this version of Irael Adesanya, who is on a 3-fight losing streak. That's what I think. Irael Adesanya is going to get it done. How about that? Going to pick Joe Pyfer apart. I think Pyfer's going to start to slow down over the later rounds. He's going to pick him off to the body, to the head, use sharp counters, and then eventually tag him with the right shot and get him out of there. That's the way I hope it goes. That's the way I'm picking it to go. Got a huge opportunity here for Joe Pyfer, and this fight is dangerous for Irael Adesanya, no doubt about it. But I've got to go with Izzy, and I'll stick by him to the end if that's the way it has to go. That is all over here on SCS Combat. See, all the tags are on the screen. Like, subscribe, follow for more. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Let me know who you have down below in the comments. We are out.